What is involved when you long arm? It's a question we get all the time. Well, in the shop, we've got a JL that we are transforming from short arms to long arms. Watch the whole video and we'll show you how it happens. So we've got this JL on the rack. It is a 2019 Rubicon 2-liter, and it already has a TerraFlex kit on it with Rebel Offroad coilovers. We've been doing a lot of different pieces to this Jeep over the years. It's got 39s and bead locks and all sorts of cool stuff. And one upgrade that the owner wanted was long arms. He really likes the look of them and also wants that, I would say, precision handling that should be able to come with those control arms. So we talked about a bunch of different brands, and we figured out that WFO is the company that he wanted to go with. We've got all the parts laying out in the back. David's gonna be handling the whole install on this Jeep, and he really didn't waste any time digging right into it. What did you start with? Well, looks like we've got some parts on the floor here.
Doing a long arm kit, so first things first, get rid of all the previous control arms and drop brackets that he had on there.
Are you just gonna do the front first?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the front.
Start with the front.
Start on the back.
Yep.
Kind of how I go about things.
Yep, so we got TerraFlex front control arms and drop brackets that are already removed, right? The axle's just kind of hanging there. We've got this.
It's got a couple things on it, but it's pretty much just hanging out for the meantime.
Just hanging out. Of course, you got the coilovers still mounted in there.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So walk us through what you're gonna be doing on the front to make it all happen.
All right, well, so far, first things first, they tell you, get out a plasma cutter or a Sawzall, cutting device of your choice, and lop off the factory mounts. Just get rid of them.
Just cut it off.
Got the plasma cutter over here. I'll be starting with that soon, just to get rid of those.
Yep.
They give you a nice multi-piece transmission cross member that then has the mounts for the long arms.
We're not sure on this skid plate.
Yeah.
What, maybe we'll have to cut it out or section something. Jeez Louise. Yeah. They're like beefy. The color was one thing that the owner of this Jeep really liked. This Jeep is Granite Crystal, and as you can see, like, it's almost a direct match, which is pretty cool.
Body match control arms.
Body match control arms, yep. In talking to WFO, that was one thing that was popular, is the color of this kit. As much as we talk about metal cloak, I really like their bushings, and these are all metal cloak bushings, which is kind of cool. WFO uses those, which is unique. I still think that these are probably the best bushings in the industry.
Certainly.
They're quiet, they provide a lot of misalignment, and they require very little maintenance, which is cool. So is this a front or a lower? Or,
that's a front lower, here's the front upper. For the coilovers, we can make a little hat.
Upper brackets to put in.
They weren't too bad. The one thing I noticed, there's 3 bolts to give you little flag nuts to put in there. Their instructions say there's nylock nuts, but they just have welded nuts on a piece of metal for you to fish in through a couple holes in the other side of the frame. They gave you another 1/2 13 bolt for the bottom, but the frame's already threaded for an M12 125. found a bolt that fit that, put that in the bottom, already threaded hole, made that, I guess, easier. And then just put the links on and use their measurements. It was a 33 3/8, I think, to kind of get it about right before you go over to the alignment rack. Putting it in now. It is amazingly close.
Looks like the front suspension's all together.
Right.
And this cross member is in. How did that all fit?
That actually went together pretty simply. Simple. I thought a little bit.
Aside from cutting all the brackets off the frame and, you know, a whole day of grinding.
Well, yeah, once I spent a day cutting and grinding
Sure.
some more.
Right.
Really the hardest part was getting that left upper control arm mount on because of the exhaust there. You kind of had to put the mount on the control arm and then bolt it to the frame. So to avoid dropping the exhaust.
One thing that was different for me is, like, I'm so used to seeing the underside of a JL or JK with a 3.6.
Right.
And so this is a 2-liter turbo, so there's no Y pipe. I mean, it's just like, poof.
Makes it actually a lot easier.
Makes it a lot easier. Yeah.
Certainly.
No, it looks good under here.
Yeah.
I know there's nothing here. There's no fuel tank. You've got it all completely removed, but you did have to notch that a little bit.
Yeah, there was
Like
one
a
of the
triangle.
skid plates for the fuel tank skid that he has replaced his factory support, I'll say.
Yep.
I had to take a little triangle notch out of it for that right lower arm, just
But it
to
looks good.
clearance it.
I mean, the cut seemed pretty minimal.
I might have to notch it a little bit more for the rest of the skid that goes up on the front, kind of goes across the cross member.
Yep.
Might also need a similar notch, but nothing dramatic at all.
Yeah, these are Artec aluminum skids. So we've got the JL all wrapped up. We've got the WFO long arm kit completely installed. And we were really, really impressed about the quality, fit, and finish of this kit. If you're looking for a long arm kit, check out this one from WFO. I really like the color. Like we mentioned earlier, it matches that granite crystal extremely well. And it doesn't stick out like all the metal cloak gold, which we sell very frequently. We've got this Jeep flexed out with our forklift just to test the suspension articulation, make sure nothing hits. We were talking about how much higher off the ground this tire is than the other one. And so I measured it with the tape, and we're about 36 inches from the bottom of the tire to the ground, which is a massive amount of articulation for a Jeep like this. Overall, for installation, we did have to make a few modifications to make it all work because this Jeep is equipped with Artec's aluminum skid plates. So we cut out several triangles and notches essentially for the brackets that hold the control arms. You can see these control arms are massive, and they really help to control and help the Jeep really feel planted when going over bumps. That suspension seems to travel and move better with these new long arms in place. So like I said earlier, if you're looking for a long arm suspension, check out this one from WFO. They're a great group of guys, and they're a small shop just like we are, cranking out some awesome, awesome product. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook and even TikTok, because we are sharing really awesome content at those places every single day in the shop. Lastly, if you've got a cool project, hit us up. We'd love to be involved. Thanks for watching.